So in today's class, we shall be taking the third method of solving quadratic equation, which has to do with the quadratic formula. Most people call it the almighty formula. It is a formula derived using completing the square method. So it is a simpler way of you solving quadratic equation, especially for quadratic equations that cannot be factorized, or you cannot solve it graphically. I doubt if you can not solve any equation graphically, but if it is too cumbersome, if you're not required to use the graphical method or completing the square method, it is a prepared formula that can solve any quadratic equation. So even though the quadratic equation can be factorized using factorization method, you can also use the formula method. So this formula method is best used in solving any difficult quadratic equation, be it those that will give you real roots or imaginary roots. So we shall look at the quadratic formula. Example 1 says we should use completing the square method to derive a formula for the solution of the general quadratic equation ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. So this is a proof. By solving this equation using completing the square method gives us the derivation of the formula method. So let's go. So the question is ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. We shall solve it using completing the square method, that where a, b, and c are constants such that a is not equal to 0. For you know that if a is equal to 0, it gives you a linear equation. So if you have this as an equation, the first rule in using completing the square method is that you should make the first term a perfect square. But since the coefficient of x squared is a, we are going to divide all through by a. So when you divide all through by a, you are going to have x squared plus b over ax plus c over a is equal to 0. Next you do is to move the constant term to the other side of the equation, since c over a is not a perfect square. So this becomes x squared plus b over a x is equal to minus c over a. Now we need to complete this square by looking for half the coefficient of x, square it, and add it to both sides. Now the coefficient of x is b over a. When you half it, it becomes b over 2a. Squaring it, it becomes b over 2a squared, and then you add to both sides. This becomes x squared plus b over ax plus bracket b over 2a all squared is equal to minus c over a plus, I can call this b squared over 4a squared, because in this case I have already squared the fraction. Now by doing this, I have made the left hand side a perfect square, which can be factorized into x plus b over 2a all squared to be equal to, add this fraction, this gives us 4a squared as the LCM. A into 4a squared gives us 4a, multiplied by minus c, you have minus 4ac plus b squared. Finding the square root of both sides, you now have x plus b over 2a is equal to plus or minus square root of, I prefer the positive term to be outside, so this becomes b squared minus 4ac all divided by 4a squared. Now this can be simplified to be x plus b over 2a is equal to plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by square root of 4ac, but 4ac is a perfect square, so this is going to give me x plus b over 2a to be equal to plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all divided by square root of, this is 4a, so this is 4a squared, not 4ac squared. So square root of 4 is 2 and square root of a squared is a. Now making x the subject of the formula, you have x to be equal to minus b divided by 2a plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. So by simplifying the right hand side, you have x to be equal to, since the denominators are same, this becomes 2a minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac. So this is said to be the solution to this quadratic equation, where a, b, and c are constant. What this means is, for you to get the roots of the quadratic equation using the formula method, where you have the values of a, b, and c as constant, you can then substitute it into this equation and simplify. So this is what we refer to as the formula method of solving quadratic equation, popularly known as the almighty formula. When you have an equation and you're asked to find the roots of the equation, the formula method states that x is equal to minus b plus or minus into the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a, where a, b, and c are said to be the constant term and a is not equal to 0. Kindly like my videos as you watch, while I recommend that you subscribe to my channel if you are yet to do so, and also follow me on Facebook and on TikTok at my lesson teacher Maths. Turn on the notification bell so as to be notified whenever a new video is being uploaded. You can use the comment section to interact with me on areas that are still difficult for you to understand, while I recommend you share the link with your friends and families so that they can also benefit from my daily classes. We shall now use the formula method in solving quadratic equations.